Morning, students. Today, we are going to be looking at doing revision for Unit 1. Now, the first thing we're going to be looking at is the vascular bundle and stomata. Now, roots, trunks, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds are all structures of plants. And this means that we need all of these parts to make a plant. And each part or each structure has its own function, the thing that it does. But they all work together, like roots is one of the structures. Its job, its function is to draw water out of the ground. Now, the stem or the trunk of the plant that supports the plant, it supports the branches. It is also allows minerals and water to travel up through it to all parts of the plant. The leaves, they have their function. They soak in carbon dioxide, which is part of the photosynthesis process. And flowers, of course, they produce seeds, and these seeds produce other plants and also fruit. Now, plants produce their food by photosynthesis. Now, plants produce sugar with the process. Okay, you'll also see the word starch, but the actual process, the ending process of a plant's production is sugar. Now, the food is transported by the phloem, okay? The phloem is like tubes that can transport the sugar to all parts of the plant. Now, the plant doesn't use all of the sugar all the time. It uses some for energy, and plants use some to grow. Transpiration. Now, transpiration is basically the stomata are pores, like little holes in the leaves, and transpiration is the process of the plant allowing the water out of the plant through these small holes in the leaves. And if you remember, the stomata on most plants, they are under the leaves. Now, transpiration is the same basically as you and me. Plants release water through their leaves the same as we release water through our skin. We call that when we sweat. But plants are doing the same sort of process. Now, they lose water in the form of water vapor through holes in the leaves, all right? The leaves, this was the holes called stomata. Now, stomata of land plants, remember, are under the leaves. where stomata of water plants are on top of the leaves. Now, there's different things that affect how much transpiration a plant will go through or how much water they will release. Light is one of the factors. Stomata may be wide open in the light, which improves the conduction of water. In other words, during the light, the pores of the leaves are open and more water vapor is able to be released. Temperature. Stomata will close when the temperature is too high or too low. The plant will not conduct water. And that's when you start to see the plant leaves hanging down. They don't look very full of life, and when you touch the leaves, you feel they are very dry. Humidity. If the humidity in the air is high, the plant will not conduct water. Now, humidity is the moisture in the air, right? So the higher the humidity, the higher the percentage of water vapor in the atmosphere. Wind. If there is a strong wind, stomata will conduct water more rapidly, faster. Okay, so wind has an effect for the plant to release more water through the leaves. Wet soil. If there is a high level of water in the soil, a plant will conduct a lot of water. So if we have abundance of water in the soil, then the plant will release a lot more water through the leaves. But the thing we have to be very careful, if the amount of water the plant releases, lets out, is higher than what the plant takes in or absorbs, then the plant will shrivel and die. Now we're going to be looking at plant growth factors. Air, all right? Now this is what helps the plant to grow quickly, healthy, all right? Now air, plants need oxygen for life processes and carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So we need the carbon dioxide to be able to produce food with some other elements. Sunlight is one of the other elements. Plants need sunlight to produce food by photosynthesis. During the day, food that the plant produces will be delivered to each part of the plant. So as the food is created, then these tubes that you cannot see it unless you're using a microscope, these tubes are like a rail system throughout the plant that will take the food to every part of the plant. Soil consists of various minerals. Okay, so in the soil we have different minerals that are important for the growth of plants. Plants will grow very well, effectively, if they grow in suitable soil. So if we have good soil with a lot of minerals and a good amount of moisture and water, then the plant will grow very effectively. Water is the raw material to help plants produce food and to help dissolve minerals. So it will help the roots absorb and deliver minerals to the rest of the plant. So water, as with us, is the most important raw material. Now, when we talk about the actual making of food in plants, it's called photosynthesis. Now, it is a combination of some of the things we've just looked at together to be able to make food. Plants produce their own food by photosynthesis. Plants need. Now, this is what all the things they need to make photosynthesis to work. They need sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is a substance that makes plant leaves green. Now, the easiest way for you to maybe understand what is chlorophyll. But for example, if we get a tin of white paint, now we want to make this white paint green. So we add pigments of color and we add this to the white paint. And that then changes the paint to the color that we want. Well, if we did not have chlorophyll in the leaves, then the leaves wouldn't be green. Leaves could be red. It depends on the pigment that is in the plant leaves. So chlorophyll is the substance that makes plant leaves green. The chlorophyll in plant leaves absorbs energy from sunlight. So the chlorophyll in the plant leaves is very important. Otherwise, the leaves wouldn't be able to absorb energy from sunlight. Now, the food that a plant produces is sugar. The sugar can be used to feed the plant. So a plant's very much like you and me. If we don't have food, we are not going to grow. You know? And so sugar is the food to the plant that helps it to grow. Now, it can also be stored to be used at a later date. I mean, we store food too. I mean, we fill our refrigerator up with food to be used at a later time. So plants are very similar to people in some ways. We need food to grow. We need to have food stored that we can use in the future. The oxygen produced by the plant moves out of the leaves and into the air through stomata. Okay, so the oxygen produced by the plant can also, it uses these pores in the leaves to release the air. Now remember, the plant takes in the carbon dioxide and releases oxygen into the air. Water that has moved up the plant from the roots moves out of the plant and into the air through the stomata, which we talked about before, and that is through the process of transpiration. Now, what is stimuli? Now, stimuli is how plants react with the environment and conditions around them. Now, some plants will react to sunlight, where as it gets dark, the flower will close, and in the morning you will see the flower opens and blossoms. We also have plants where they are sensitive to touch, like the Venus flytrap. That's how it is able to produce its food, by having this sensation of touch. Now, this is the end of the revision. I wanted to give you a regular rundown of the 4 lessons. In the following lesson, you will have an assessment test. So I look forward to seeing the results, and we will see you again in the following lesson. Thank you very much.